Hey guys, tired of the same old releases? Today I bring you games you may not know. So without wasting time, we start the list with Unfinished Business, a standalone expansion of the game RoboCop Rogue City, developed by Teon and published by Nacon. The story of Unfinished Business takes place right after the events of the base game, RoboCop Rogue City, which occurs between the films RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3. After RoboCop defeats the gangs of Detroit and the mysterious new guy in the original game, crime continues to plague the city. The expansion maintains the dystopian cyberpunk tone and corporate satire of the original films, with Peter Weller reprising his role as the voice of RoboCop and Alex Murphy, ensuring authenticity to the experience. Unfinished Business keeps the first-person shooter style of the base game, with an emphasis on brute force and the feeling of being a cybernetic tank.
Trouble, then.
Half Sword is a physics-based medieval combat simulator developed by Half Sword Games, an indie studio based in Georgia. The game, which has been in development for about 2 years, promises a visceral and immersive experience, putting players in the role of a commoner seeking to rise to the status of knight in brutal tournaments in 15th century Europe. It is being built with Unreal Engine 5, which guarantees detailed visuals and advanced physics mechanics. The game takes place in 15th century Europe, an era marked by bloody battles, knights, and brutal duels. You start as a commoner and must fight in tournaments to gain fame, wealth, and eventually the title of knight. The setting is rich in historical detail, with scenarios that reflect villages, arenas, and battlefields of the time. The game is not afraid to show the violent nature of medieval combat, including realistic blood and dismemberment. Pathologic 3 is a survival horror RPG in development by Ice Pick Lodge, with a planned release in 2025. It will be the third entry in the Pathologic series, known for its oppressive atmosphere, complex narrative, and challenging mechanics. The game follows Daniil Denkovsky, known as the Bachelor, a learned doctor from the capital who seeks the secret of immortality. He arrives in a remote town plagued by a mysterious plague that will destroy everything in 12 days. Daniil must investigate the plague, diagnose patients, impose measures like quarantines, and unravel mysteries, including the murder of a supposedly immortal man. The narrative explores philosophical themes such as the nature of death, morality, and the impact of the player's choices. The story is told from the subjective and unreliable point of view of the Bachelor, which adds layers of ambiguity. The player will question the events and their own decisions, a hallmark of the series.
I was trying to grant them one more day.
Yet your actions only hastened the town's downfall.
What exactly are you implying, Inspector?
No one is accusing you, Doctor. But consider, look at yourself. You failed. Utterly.
The plague mutated too quickly. And the patients, they deceived me again and again. I am no executioner, no inquisitor, no lawman, no soldier. I am a doctor, a man of science.
I wonder if you still know who you are. If you could begin anew, would you make the same choices?
Every decision I made was just. But something I would change.
Lost Soulicide is an action-adventure RPG that will be released on May 30th, 2025 for PlayStation 5 and PC. Developed by AltaZero Games and published by PlayStation Publishing LLC, the game promises an epic journey to save the protagonist's sister, Louisa, and humanity from mysterious dimensional invaders. The story takes place in a world in conflict where the protagonist, Kaser, and his sister, Louisa, lead a rebel group fighting against the Emperor's oppression. During an attempt to overthrow the Emperor, a meteor storm falls on the city, taking Louisa's soul and changing Kaser forever. Lost Soulicide is a third-person action game that focuses on fast-paced and dynamic combat. The player controls Kaser, who can use a variety of weapons and abilities to defeat enemies. The game also features a character evolution system, allowing Kaser to learn new skills and improve his stats. ExeKiller is a first-person action-adventure game with elements of exploration and branching narrative, developed by Paradark Studio, a Polish studio, and published by Null Games. The game is scheduled to be released in 2025, exclusively for PC via Steam, and combines a retro-futuristic aesthetic with a post-apocalyptic setting that mixes Western, science fiction, and cyberpunk vibes. ExeKiller takes place in an alternate dystopian world, set in 1998, after a catastrophic event known as the Great Fire Disaster, which devastated Earth 20 years ago, turning it into a scorching desert. You take on the role of Denzel Phoenix, a bounty hunter known as ExeKiller. Your main mission is to collect the souls, which are biochips that store information about their carriers and control them. The game features a central hub, probably post-apocalyptic New York, connected to several smaller locations, separated by long distances.
What the hell is going on here?
This is for your own good. Event flag for security. Uplink error.
Shit, I'm out.
Please stand.
Finally. Was it worth it? Of course it was.
Post-Trauma is a survival horror game developed by Red Soul Games, an indie studio based in Valencia, Spain, and published by Raw Fury. Inspired by genre classics like Silent Hill and Resident Evil, the game combines nostalgic elements, such as fixed camera angles, with modern visuals created in Unreal Engine 5, offering an experience that pays homage to the titles that defined survival horror, but with a contemporary approach. In Post-Trauma, you control Roman, a middle-aged train conductor, 57 years old, voiced by Togo Igawa, who, after suffering a severe panic attack, wakes up in a surreal and terrifying dimension called Gloom. Trapped in this nightmare, Roman faces grotesque architecture, abominations, and mysteries that defy understanding. The narrative is told from multiple perspectives, with a plot that unfolds non-linearly, constantly changing the questions as the player progresses.
You think you can escape what you've done?
I think I can try.
It's time.
Blight Survival is a medieval action, survival, and horror game with roguelite elements, developed by Hainier Studio, a small production company of 2 developers. The game takes place in a world ravaged by a plague called Blight, which transforms people into murderous creatures. Blight Survival is a cooperative game for up to 4 players, with extraction-light elements. This means you need to gather resources and complete objectives to survive and extract from the area, but you can also choose to risk it and continue exploring to get more resources and complete more challenging missions. The game features a directional combat system that is accessible for beginners, but offers a high level of skill for more experienced players. You can choose from a variety of weapons, armor, and talents to customize your playstyle.
Stop warming your balls and get over here! Hey, are you listening to me?
Sure, I am.
You're hearing me. You ain't listening.
Leave off, Granger.
Look at him, or I'll make you.
Boy, calm down, will you? Alright, I'm looking.
What did I say then, eh?
Just for the paint.
That's it. That painted armor. Bloody savages, didn't I say?
Yeah, you said it, Granger.
Get off him. What, you think he's got blight? Sometimes it's harder to spot, yeah? Gets in your veins first. Clogs up your brain. You're infected before you know it. He's dead. Poor bastard reeks. Probably dead for days. You're new to this. It only gets worse after they're dead. Makes you almost sorry for him. My ass doesn't feel too sorry. Keep looking.
Steel Seed is a stealth action-adventure game set in a dark science fiction world where humanity is on the brink of extinction. You take on the role of Zoe, a female protagonist who embarks on an epic journey inside a hostile underground facility controlled by an artificial intelligence. Zoe is alone, accompanied only by Kobe, a flying drone, as she investigates the depths of the facility in search of answers and the key to humanity's survival. Steel Seed offers an immersive gameplay experience with a focus on stealth, action, and exploration. You can use Zoe's parkour skills to traverse the underground facility and gain a tactical advantage. The Kobe drone is a crucial component of the game, acting as a guide for Zoe on her solitary and dangerous journey. Together, they form a formidable duo, bringing something new to each fight.
How can you not see it? You will never be like them.
I am one of them!
Mouse PI for Hire is a first-person shooter game being developed by Fumi Games based in Poland and published by Playside Studios from Australia. Scheduled for release in 2025, the game combines a unique rubber hose animation style from the 1930s, inspired by classic cartoons like early Mickey Mouse cartoons, with a noir narrative full of action, jazz, and stylized violence. You play as Jack Pepper, a private detective mouse in Mouseburg, a corrupt city full of gangs, mobsters, and hidden dangers. The story begins with a seemingly cliched case of a damsel in distress, but soon turns into a complex plot involving murder, corruption, and unexpected enemies. The big difference of Mouse PI for Hire is its visual style. The game uses hand-drawn animation in the rubber hose style, typical of old cartoons, with black and white characters and enemies that move in an exaggerated and elastic way.
It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. Oh, you seem to
Spine is an action-adventure title with elements of beat-em-up and gun-fu, combat style that mixes martial arts and firearms, developed and published by Neki, a studio known for games like Shadow Fight and Vector. Spine takes place in a dystopian cyberpunk world called Tensor City, where an autocratic artificial intelligence known as Tensor Corporation controls society with drones and oppressive forces, suppressing rebellions. You control Redline, a rebellious graffiti artist and street artist who fights against the Tensor regime to rescue her captured brother. Redline is equipped with a sentient spine implant called Spine, a combat AI with its own personality. This implant not only enhances her physical abilities, but also interacts with her, creating a relationship of trust that evolves throughout the game. The game explores themes of resistance, revenge, and the fight for freedom in a dark digital future. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.